What's up guys, Mother Reaver here with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today we are in the Fire Knight. We got a Fire Knight tournament just started with some interesting milestones here. I did want to highlight these a little bit. I don't know if it is just this special week that Plarium has going on, but they've been putting some interesting rewards within the milestones of the events these days, and I like it. So in this one we have a 6-star attack percentage glyph and a Immortal Soulstone in the milestone rewards, so everybody can get them. I'm going to totally go for it on the free-to-play account. We're definitely going to get it on this account. But I like what they're doing here. I hope they continue to do it and spice up the rewards for normal events. I don't know if they will or not, but here's hoping. Otherwise, let's go take a look at the team we've got. Now, this team that we're going to look at is completely different than, well, not really completely different, but is using a couple different champions than my previous video. It is actually a much better team as far as consistency goes, and I'll explain why. So, this team is going to feature Theodore. Now, Theodore is actually going to bring a couple of different things in here. Also, full disclosure, this is Fire Knight Hard 10. It is arguably the most difficult content in the game, and in order to even compete in the stage in itself, in order to even try to complete it, you need very specific, very top-tier champions. Fortunately, it is what it is, while Plarium has this dungeon completely overtuned. Hopefully they knock it down and brings more options as far as what can be used within for that stage 10. Otherwise, there is actually quite a bit of content out on stage 6, which does not require Cardiel, does not require Valkyrie in order to complete those stages. One of my friends, actually, O'Toole50, who just started a YouTube channel recently as well. You can also catch him on Twitch. He's the one that brought this tune to my attention. He's actually been doing a lot of different stuff with Fire Knight, and he has quite a few videos for stage 6 teams. But this is the stage 10 team that we're coming up with. So we are using very good champions. Specifically, we've got Cardiel here. He is just in some random gear. You can actually use him as one of the shield set champs, which we'll go over in a second, but I have mine in just random gear. Built for damage. So he has 308 speed, fully crit capped with 264 crit damage. We've got 4k attack, a little bit tanky with 44k HP and 3.6k defense. Just built tanky and to do damage. As far as skills go, I do have him in Soul Reap. You'll see that mine is 6-star Awakened. You do not need any sort of awakening on this. You don't need Phantom Touch procs or anything like that in order to open the shield. This team can be completely built without Ascension. I'm using Soul Reap. It does help through the waves, as well as at the end of the boss. We can try to kill him a couple seconds earlier. And then for masteries, let me get myself out of the way here. We are down to War Master. Support tree. We are down to Lasting Gifts. This is for the increased crit rate, increased crit damage buffs that he puts up on his ally attack. But that is Cardiel. Next up, we've got Valkyrie. In the other comp that I had before, we were using Valkyrie in a reflex set. We do not need that in this comp. You don't need any sort of reflex sets on anybody, or in fact any refresh. On top of that, I actually have 0 turn meter manipulation and 0 skill reduction effects built within this team. So you don't need any of that. No refresh, no reflex, none of it. So we've got Valkyrie now in a Savage set. She is 251 speed with crit capped with some crit damage, but really you want to focus on the defense that you can get on her. Obviously, her shield that she puts up is based on the size of her defense, not sort of damage done or anything like that. So you do want to stack her defense as much as possible. We actually do have her as the lowest HP total on the team. That is to make sure that if Riho in Wave 2 gets a turn, that she will target Valkyrie instead of anybody else, because Valkyrie can take the hit, everybody else will get one shot for the most part. And then for Valkyrie, we are also going down to War Master. For her, we are using Evil Eye. Evil Eye is pretty important for every champ that you can get on them. And then lasting gifts as well, so she can extend the duration of the counter attack, because that comes in handy if you can get the 3-turn proc on that. Next up, we will go with Coldheart. Again, Coldheart, mine is 6-star Awakened, does not require it. She has Phantom Touch on, but again, the comp does not require the extra Phantom Touch procs. You can do just fine without her. The nice thing about the Awakening is it does actually make her a bit tankier, because she is one that you do want to build defense on first and attack second. You can see mine is in a Stalwart set with Perception, again, in the spirit of making her as tanky as possible. She's got 46k HP, 2.7k defense. She's a 282 speed. We've got enough crit rate for her to land the Heartseeker. 212 crit damage, and enough accuracy to land her debuffs. Her debuffs are pretty important. The decreased the heal reduction, as well as the decreased accuracy, helps on the waves, particularly against Riho, which is the biggest bane of the waves on this stage. For masteries, we went down to Giant Slayer for her. Obviously, we're relying on the A1 a lot, so we want that Giant Slayer procs. Evil Eye on her as well. And then the extra chance to proc. Next up, we've got Tomb Lord. Tomb Lord 3-star Awakened. Not incredibly important. We are using Soul Reap on him. We do have him in a shield set, so he is one of 2 champions that we have in a shield set. Again, you can put Cardiel in a shield set if that works out better for you, but I'm using Tomb Lord, and Tio is also in a shield set, which we'll go over next. And again, he is more one of the squishy champions on the team, so you do want to put a lot of tankiness into him. We've got 52k HP, 3.8k defense, 38k or 3.8k attack. He's at 255 speed, crit caps, 215 crit damage, with enough accuracy to land his debuffs. For masteries, we also went down to Giant Slayer for him, again relying on that 3-hitter 8-1. Also Evil Eye, and then Master Hexer to extend the duration of the poisons, because the poisons are actually going to do a lot of damage here. And then last but not least, we've got Tio, again in a shield set. With Tio, we're not worried about attack on him, so you can build him super tanky. So we've got 83k HP and 3.8k defense, so he's going to put up a nice big shield for us. He is at 280 speed, enough accuracy to land his debuffs. We've got Cruelty on him just to try to get the boss down a little bit faster. And then for masteries, we're actually down the defense tree for him, going down to Bulwark. So Bulwark is actually quite helpful here, particularly because he is the most tanky on the team. He is going to be absorbing some of that damage that our squishier champs are going to be taking, mainly being the Coldheart and the Tomb Lord. Also for Evil Eye for him. And then we've got both Sniper and Master Hexer for his poisons and the decreased speed. So the nice thing about Tio that he's going to bring here is he does have the AoE decreased speed. Decreased speed on the boss is quite important. You can see Tomb Lord also brings the decreased speed. And then Tio is also going to bring increased speed for our team. Also, the rest of his kit certainly doesn't hurt either. So that is the team. Let's look at our presets. So for this team, we've got Cardiel opening with his A3, that is the ally attack, and then we're turning it off. We're not using his A2 at all. Same thing on round 2. So one thing we're going to look at is the fact that you need to essentially spend enough time in the wave to recycle back to the skills in order for them to be used on the second wave, as well as the third wave. So boss stage, we are going to open with the block debuffs and the revive on death A2, and then prioritize his ally attack. For Valkyrie, we are going to open with her stand firm counterattack. We are not going to use it on wave 2. You can use it if you need to. The reason why I don't is because I drop wave 2 fast enough that I don't always recycle back to have this ready for the boss wave, which is incredibly important. So I turn it off on wave 2. If your wave is taking too long, you can turn that on. Just make sure that she takes enough turns that it is ready for the boss wave. And then on the boss wave, we are prioritizing that. For Coldheart, she is opening with her A2, and then doing nothing but A1s after that. Wave 2, again, open with the A2, and she can use the A2 as often as she wants, but not the Heartseeker. For wave 3, we are just turning off the A2 and letting her AI work as is. Coldheart is actually the only champion in the game that is specifically programmed to only use her A1 skill if the Fire Knight's shield is up. So if you prioritize Heartseeker or anything like that, that will overwrite that programming. So you want to make sure that she is just using her default skills. For Tomb Lord, we are opening A2 and using nothing else on round 1. Same thing, except we can use the A3. And then round 3, we're actually turning off his A3 to decrease attack and decrease defense. We're not going to use it. We are going to open with his A1 and then prioritize the A2. For Tia, we are going to open A2 and never use it again. Same thing with round 2. And then round 3, we are going to open with his A1 and then set his priorities as A2 as 1 and then Chemistry as second priority. So those are the presets. Again, this team is a 99% win rate. I've tried very hard to get it to 100%, and unfortunately, it just can't be done. There is one specific instance where the team will fail, and I will show you what that is. And I have run this team on probably 600 to 700 runs, specifically in 100 run increments to try to get a 100 out of 100. However, every time I lose once. Just once, but always once. So you can see we got through wave 2 pretty quickly. On wave 1 pretty quickly. Wave 2 here, our biggest challenge is the Riho over here. If she takes a turn, if there are champions alive, because we have all these debuffs, she will cleanse and heal them all back up, which just slows the run down. Pretty much like that. And then sometimes she will do her A2 where she puts up all the debuffs on your team and then, or on one of your champions, and then nukes them. So we get through that. Normal time through the waves for me is roughly about a minute. And you can see we are just putting up all our buffs here, getting prepared. We get hit once. We go through all of our counterattacks. And then first turn, Cardiel is going to ally attack. This is going to open up the shield. We get our decreased speed up here. So this decreased speed is incredibly important. If we get it up as we normally do on the first attack there, then the boss run is super smooth. It'll be about 2.5 minutes or so. If we don't get the decreased speed up right away, as long as we apply it at some point within the fight, we will survive. The 1% chance that we fail is when we never put up decreased speed at all, and the run can never recover. The team can't recover. That is the 1% chance that this run fails. But you can see boss takes about his third turn here. We open the shield back up. We put on more poisons. Tio explodes them. And that is about going to do it for this run. $233. My best time of minute 58 was not with this team. That was with the previous team. That was much less consistent. So I do like this team a lot more. You can see Cardiel putting up 1.5k damage. Valkyrie putting up 700k, but she is mainly used just for her shields and the counterattack. Coldheart doing 1.8. Tomb Lord with the poisons doing 3.8. And then Tio at 1.8 million damage. And it's pretty consistent. So this is what it is. I really like the team and the team composition. You can play around with it a lot, switching the speeds. Depending on the builds you can get on everybody, you can see that we fly through this wave pretty consistently. If the Venuses get a turn, they don't really do any damage, so there's nothing to worry about really on this one. We're just making sure that we take enough turns that we cycle back to our correct skills for the second wave. So you can see Riho got the decreased speed from Tio's A1 on the ally attack, cleansed that, but now we have all the poisons up on her. So Tio explodes them. If we get them down, then we can reduce turn meter with Tomb Lord. But we got enough damage in there. So there was 58 seconds through the first two waves. We put our buffs up. So now we got our counterattacks. You can see the shield just ticking down. Then we get our ally attack. This is where we need to put up that decreased speed. We've got Tio putting increased speed on our team. Poisons. Explode. So this turn is the only time that we don't have the counterattack up on everybody. So that's where the lasting gifts from Valkyrie comes in handy, when you can get counterattacks on some of them. Otherwise, for this one, they're just going to open the shield back up while they get their counterattack back. And then the cycle continues. So we get attacked, we counterattack. Valkyrie goes, ally attack with Cardiel, opens the shield. Then poisons, explode, dead. 218. So there it is, guys. That's the team. I like it a lot. Let me know what you think. Add some comments down below. Are you guys running Fire Knight 10? What comps are you using? What's your win rate on those comps? Again, this is about the most consistent team I have found. Even the top teams, like, this isn't the fastest team. However, I believe it is the most consistent. I don't believe there is a true 100% team out there yet. Hopefully sometime in the future. But let me know what you guys think. Like and subscribe, all that sort of fun stuff. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Later.